I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
It's the question that everybody wants to ask you.
I knew you would have the young LA.
Off this young LA right now.
You got in a weightlifting class, and from that day forward, it was Monday to Friday. I'm ripping a session, and the coach would break down exactly what we're doing today, how many reps, this many exercises, boom. And now I got some scars left over. I really like them, actually.
Have you ever cycled off of caffeine?
No. Yeah, that's probably what I need to do to get a gauge on it, huh?
Okay. Josh Manoy, are you natty or not? So we got Joshua Manoy. Manoy?
Yes.
Wait, how do you say it?
So it's Hawaiian. So like each vowel will be pronounced specifically. So Manoy.
Manoy.
Yeah.
Manoy. Okay, that makes sense. Is that better?
That's perfect.
Am I better?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay, cool. That's dope.
No one ever
That's
gets
dope.
it right, dude.
Every time I see your Instagram, I think it's Joshua Blaze for some reason.
There are a lot of people who be like, you're Josh Blaze. I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah,
That's
no, it's
hilarious.
Joshua Manoy, but I'll take it. That's the nickname I kind of gave myself, Blaze.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, people will come up to me and be like, "Oh, are you Nylan Iga?" And I'm just like,
In Iga?
Nylan
No.
Iga.
You know what's funny, man? Before I
Or-
met you, I was just, whenever I see your profile or just whenever I would, because I've always admired your physique, like I told you before. When
Appreciate
we
that,
trained.
bro. Ditto, man.
Thank you. So whenever I would like show your profile to somebody or see your physique, I'm like, dude, that's K-pop Goku right there. And that's been your nickname to me.
No, yeah,
It's
that,
like, yeah. Because everyone seems to recognize you from that.
people will come up to me and say that too. They'll be like, "You're Korean Goku."
Yes. Yeah. See? And the people call me Vegeta.
To be honest, the only reason that I ever did that name was because when I'd be walking the streets, like people who don't know me on social media would just yell out on the streets, "Hey, Goku."
No way.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Yo, it's Goku." And like,
Whoa.
you know, people would literally just call me Goku wherever I went. Even when I went to raves, they'd just call me Goku. So that's why I put it on my social media, because literally every comment, whether or not it's on social media or not, was like, it's fucking Goku.
Yeah. Take it, man.
Like whatever. I can't tell if that's racist or not, but I'll fucking take it. I'll take it.
You definitely got the proportions for it, dude.
Thanks, man.
And waist and just broad shoulders and back and just everything.
Thanks, man. That means a lot, man. I don't got it right now, man. I got a nice old, not actual beer in there, but a nice old beer belly right now.
How's
All
the
that food.
The bulk? Yeah. How's that going, man?
It's been nice, dude. It's crazy how like after bulking for just like, man, I don't even remember how many weeks it's been, but after all these weeks, it's easier to eat more food and my digestion is quicker. And then it's like, I feel less like sleepy or lethargic, or like I feel less like in a food coma from eating the same amount of food consistently each week. It just gets better and better and better.
Good, man.
It's cool. I can like feel my body adapting. So
I feel like even me with my prep, because I'm basically, as of yesterday, 2 months out on the dot. And I'm still on my bulk. So I think, because I'm always trying to eat more than the amount of calories my body burns on a regular. And so that just means I'm just stuffing my faces like whenever I'm hungry. Like whenever I'm hungry, I just eat. That's the way it's been forever. And I think there are times when I have to have my body readjust to the amount of food that I'm putting into it, because obviously now is a purpose bulk, and it's like a mission bulk, which means that I must get these meals in to get to that weight that I want to be by the time I'm on stage. And it's fucking a lot, dude. I go through those phases of just being super stuffed, not wanting to move around, having to deal with the digestion.
yeah.
Like jacked up bowels and things like that. So I understand, dude. Not as much as you though, because you told me you were cruising on like a low amount of calories for years for content.
Yeah. For content.
So I bet your body's just
The life.
yeah.
Kind of like how I feel like Joe Statics feels probably on a daily basis. Just always, just like always dragging your feet, lack of energy.
Is he like that?
I mean, I wouldn't know, but like seeing the fact that he's shredded year round,
Dude, he's mad shredded.
Right?
I was
Like-
just watching a video of his this morning. That dude is just,
I don't think I know anyone who's been able to maintain that for that long, honestly.
yeah. I've never seen him not shredded, come to think
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, he's a different beast. Yeah. Is he a cool guy? Did you ever meet him? No?
I've spoken with him online, but never in person. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Though.
Yeah, he's definitely
Sure.
a character.
He seems dope as fuck.
Yeah, I think we get along with him, dude.
I think so too. Yeah.
Was there anybody, I guess, before you met them in your social media journey, before you met them, you thought that maybe you'd not get along with them? And then when you meet them, it's just like you guys clicked and become really good friends? I got a few people like that where I had the completely wrong idea. And then I finally meet them in person and it's like, dude, I love this guy.
That definitely fucking happens, bro. And that I'm pretty sure that happened with you.
Really?
Yeah.
In your viewpoint towards me before you met me?
Yeah, dude.
What did you think?
I didn't think anything crazy, but I do remember feeling like an energy, like
You can sense my key, my power level. You sensed it?
I think it's like, you know how like scientifically males will respond differently depending on like a man's like signs of like maybe his testosterone level or hierarchy in that sort of manner. There's just certain things that like men will do subconsciously. They don't even realize. I mean, any people will really do based off of who they interact with. It's not a science I know very specifically, but I don't know, dude. I think I was just like, who the fuck does this guy think he is, man? Fucking look at
Really?
looking all jacked and shit in the gym.
Man.
I was judging, but I was just like, damn, this guy is jacked. Like, he seems hardcore as fuck.
You know what's funny? I never thought like that when it came to you, but there definitely was an energy, I guess, translated between you and I before we even encountered each other. And it wasn't anything bad. Like I never had any kind of animosity or I never was like in a negative outlook on you, but it was just like, yo, this motherfucker's in here. I can't let him outdo me.
I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was.
Like there's just,
yeah.
I don't know, dude. It was kind of like a competition.
Yeah.
I think that's the word. Whenever you were around, I'm just like, okay, he just walked in. He already looked like shredded. He's just, and then I noticed the way you train, and that's why I really wanted to like train with you because, like I told you, I'm super picky with people because you have to be on the same wavelength and intensity level and things like that to be able to have a good workout session and just have a workout partner in general. And I got that vibe from you when I noticed you in the gym. And it's not like I was like eyeballing you and watching you every move, but I fucking heard you grunting.
Oh shit.
I saw your form. I noticed you weren't taking your time. You weren't bullshitting between sets. You were never really having super long conversations or goofing off. I'm like, yo, this guy's about it. And obviously I could tell from your physique and just seeing you online over however long before I met you. I was just like, yo, this guy, he's definitely there, like up here. And so that's why I was like, yeah, I got to train with this guy. So I'm glad you moved to LA because you had been in San Diego for a minute.
Yeah.
And I think I'd been out there a few times and I was hoping I'd run into you or at least see you at freaking like EOS because I know that was your spot.
Yeah.
And I just never did. And then by the time you were out here, I remember initially thinking like, okay, he's just visiting LA. So if I don't see him this time, then shit, it's probably gonna be another few months before I do. And then you were just continuously there. And I'm like, okay. And then that time when we were hitting arms and you were over there on the machine, the bicep curl machine. And it was my turn. I was like, yo, I'm trying to use this.
Oh, dude, and you came on with your arms and I was like, no way,
I'm not
bro.
gonna lie. I had a nasty pump. I walked up on Niall and I was like, hey man, I don't mean to bother you because I'm always respectful.
Yeah.
I'm never like the guy like, hey, how many sets you got? I'm not that guy. So I went up to him. I was like, I waited because I think you were on your phone and you had your headphones in. So I wasn't gonna tap on your shoulder. I was just like, I waited my second. You looked up and I was like, hey man, don't mean to bother you, but do you mind if I jump in on this exercise with you? You're like, yeah, bro, go ahead. And that's when we finally met and talked to each other.
Yeah.
It was an arm day.
Yeah.
United the bros.
That was awesome, dude.
That was the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy moment between us.
Fuck, dude. And then you came in with your giant ass biceps and I saw you got that set and I was just like, God fucking damn it. Now I have to go harder.
And even speaking of the competition, that was the initial because I saw you were going hard on your sets and that just motivated me to go really hard.
Yeah.
And you were going to failure. I remember that. I could tell by your face and like the grunts you were making, you were not letting anything, like you weren't holding anything back. And I was like, okay, this is a competition. It was like super subconsciously because we didn't make it known. Like I wasn't looking at him and like giving him any kind of aggression, but subconsciously, I think you got it too. Because after your set, I busted out like it's the same intensity, same everything. when I saw you doing, I was like, yeah, I got to match his energy. And then we finally trained. I think chest was the first session we had, right?
Yeah.
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 And then we've had 2, right?
Yeah.
2 sessions together so far.
Yeah.
And they were both chest and tries.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to switch it up.
Gotta do some arms or legs for sure.
Arms or legs.
I want you to take me through an arm workout.
I'm always down. I actually hit arms earlier, man.
Yeah, fucking obviously, bro. Speaking of this guy, he had to come in with this fucking shirt. God damn it!
I knew you would have the young LA.
Off this young LA right now.
you got a oversized tee on. I got the cap sleeves on.
I gotta hide these babies. I had legs today. Oh shit! But I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
It's the question that everybody wants to ask you.
I wonder what it could be.
I wonder too. So
let me have it.
Josh Manoe.
Manoe. Yes.
Okay. Josh Manoe. Are you natty or not?
Yes, I am natural.
Nice.
100%.
That was quick too.
Never touched anything in my entire life. Not once. And I have proof online. I've done 2 full male panel blood tests through Merrick Health, which is Derek from More Plates, More Dates. If you guys know that YouTube channel, then you know Derek. Isn't he the owner of Gorilla Mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure you are familiar if you're watching this podcast or listening. And I actually spoke to him because there was a YouTube video that I did at Brad's the old Zoo Culture, the first Zoo Culture.
I saw that recently.
Yeah. I was just going around the gym asking everybody, do you think I'm natty or not? And the majority of everyone I asked, I was already acquainted with, because in there it's like a high school. You see the same people, you say what's up, talk to the same people every time you're in there. So that's all the people I had in the gym that day. So I was asking everyone I could get a hold of, and they all, there were a few who said they would think I'm not natty, but the majority of them were like, since I know you, and giving me the benefit of the doubt.
Since I know you.
So it wasn't really as authentic as it could have been if they didn't know me at all and never had spoken to me.
Yeah.
But Greg freaking Doucette got a hold of that video, made a reaction, and then Derek made a reaction to Greg's reaction, both just shitting on me. And I have nothing against those 2 guys. I respect them. I'm not mad at them at all. Just wanted to clear that up. I think it's like, I love it. I think it's funny. And so, yeah, that's why I went ahead and reached out to Derek. Specifically, I reached out to him on IG, DM'd him. How do I prove I'm natural? And he told me to take this test specifically, take my full male panel blood test. I had Lex Little do the same thing. Shout out to Lex. And so I took that exact blood test. A little over a year ago, results came back perfectly fine. Then I recently did that test again with Larry Wheels, because he doesn't believe me. And I went ahead and he wanted me to do this blood test again with him present through the whole thing, like ordering it online.
Holy
shit.
He
was present. Freaking going to the doctor, he was present. Watching me get my blood drawn, he was present. The whole shit.
Did you guys video this?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was funny. And so we went in. After I got the results, I sent it straight to Larry's email. Like the second I got the results, I forwarded it to Larry's email, and we went over it together with the doctors. We got on a Zoom call. They broke down every little thing in my YouTube video. You can see it online if you don't believe me. And so the doctors came to the conclusion that I'm natty, or at least at the time of the blood test, I was natty. So,
that's lit.
And then, my bad. So there's 2 blood tests I did. And then I also competed in Muscle Mania, where there was a urinalysis. So there's 3 times I've taken the steps to at least try to make people understand that I'm actually natural.
Right.
And I don't have anything against people who don't believe.
Yeah.
Dude, looking at me on the outside looking in, if I wasn't who I am and I was somebody else and I saw somebody who looked like me, I wouldn't believe I'm natty, dude. I wouldn't. I wish I could tell people that there was something I'm doing. But aside from the training and the years I put in and the patience and the work ethic and all the, just because I hit the ground running hard when I got into fitness, like hard, because I was in high school. And luckily my high school had a fitness class, like an actual weightlifting class. So from the moment I joined, and that was the start of my fitness journey, period. Aside, like before that, I was just doing push-ups and little things at the house. Nothing crazy, nothing to develop a physique, but just little things, push-ups, pull-ups, working with my mom's like 5-pound dumbbells, stuff like that. Got in a weightlifting class. And from that day forward, it was Monday to Friday. I'm ripping the session. And the coach would break down exactly what we're doing today. 3 sets of this, how many reps, this many exercises, boom. And I was usually the first in there and the last to leave, legit. So when I got into fitness, because I had enough of being small and being made fun of for it, I knew that I had to take this seriously if I wanted to change, because I was sick of feeling that way. And I hit that rock bottom. And I feel like that's why I was able to turn myself around and get to this point that I am today. Long story short.
Shit, bro.
But yeah, because I know a lot of people, when they get into fitness, it's a rough track. Because I mean, I was fortunate enough to have my teacher, Coach Howard, break down everything and teach me. Like I learned the specific scientific names for muscles from the jump. I learned, like, I had a full workout plan because obviously I was in school, and I was just Monday to Friday doing the exact, like, I think Monday and Thursday was chest and tris. Tuesday and Friday was back and bis. Wednesday was legs and shoulders. So I got that the whole school year. And then I had that class up until the point I graduated. So I had that fully locked in. And I know a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to have that. Some people can't even afford a membership. Some people don't know what to do when they go in the gym. They're just lost.
Right.
And I kind of wish it was an easier way for people to really just have a solid plan from the beginning.
For sure.
That's what I had from the beginning. I was just, at least I had a gym. I didn't know about diet and nutrition, but I knew that I had to lift some weights. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. And that's what I fell in love with.
Nice. If you don't mind me asking, because I'm so curious, and I think that's freaking awesome that you did a full blood panel, but could you like describe the panel?
Yeah.
Like everything that you had done and like what the results were like?
I can pull it up on my phone.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That'd be
You
sick.
wanna look at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That'd be hella dope.
Yeah, dude. They took a good amount of vials of my blood, dude.
That's so dope. That's really like the only way you can do it. Liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that people will say even after the fact. What else can I do? What else can I do to prove it? Aside from like random throughout the year tests, which I know some people have done, some influencers. But
to be honest, bro, like even at that point, like if you're taking that many tests over the course of so much time consistently, and it looks like your balls are working.
Yeah.
I'm just
not just that,
like,
they're pretty large.
Yeah.
They're just fine. They're functioning well. So
this guy is, I'm kind of surprised that your RBC and hematocrit and hemoglobin are high though. Did the doctors say anything about that?
So there were some things that were out of the norm on my results that the doctors tried to give an explanation to, as in one of them said that it could be my sleep patterns are bad, and I don't know, because trust me, dude, I don't know a lot of the stuff that's on that. I can't break it down like you can or a doctor can. But one thing that was said is that my sleep patterns might be pushing one of the results really high due to lack of oxygen when sleeping. Another one, there were some other things, like 2 or 3 other things that were said in regards to some of my high readings.
Oh, sorry. I saw a big space in between. I was like, where's all the tests and everything? And then I realized you got like fucking 8 more pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is crazy. I want to just like read everything down.
Yeah.
So, oh man, this is so interesting. Wow. So your testosterone was 957.5.
Yes.
Good ass rating. Hella good rating, bro.
Yeah.
Testosterone free was 22.18.
So really quickly, sorry to interrupt. They put side to side comparisons of my first results, which were like over a year ago.
Right.
And since we're on the topic of this, I took my first blood test I took right after the accident that I was telling you about before. I was in a major car accident. I almost died. I collided with a semi, and that was due to And that was my fault. I ended up cutting into the end of a semi one late night and took a major blow to my head.
Holy shit.
And God damn it. I'm trying to make this long story short. I was out in San Diego hanging with a fellow Marine. His name is Tyler Valencia. He's my boy. He was in the passenger seat. We were coming back from Denny's. We went to get a late bite, and we were going back to his barracks because he was stationed in Miramar. It's a Marine base. So we were heading back to his barracks. It was like 2 a.m. or something. September 12th, right after 9/11. And there was a semi. I ended up running into the end of it, and I took a blow to the head. I was knocked out on impact, and he luckily was unharmed. He didn't get any damage at all. And he was able to reach over with one hand, grab the steering wheel, and the other hand he used to brake, pulled us off the road, parked the car. And I was still knocked out at the time, but I was bleeding out. I had huge gashes on my face. And what he tells me is he took off his shirt and pushed it on my face. And then when I came back to, I don't know how long, I came back to, I couldn't open my eyes because I took that major head damage. But all I could hear was him yelling, apply pressure, like a good Marine. Apply pressure. And that's what I did because the rest of my body was fine. It was just my face. So I raised my arm, just held it on my face where he had the shirt to stop the bleeding. And it's funny, dude. I'd never been in a huge accident like that in my life. So when that happened, I didn't even know it was real. I didn't know what was going on. First of all, I'd never been knocked out before. Second of all, I'd never been in an accident like that. So waking back up, I can't see. I can't open my eyes. I can't see shit. I thought I was dreaming. Literally, I thought I was dreaming. I was like, what is going on? I was feeling a numbness, and then it started to become like a little painful. And then after a few seconds, I was like, okay, this pain's actually pretty intense. I don't know what's going on. And then it came back to me. Like I remembered coming up on that semi hella fast, and I was like, oh shit, I just crashed. That's when I realized I had just been in a huge car accident. And that's when I was just holding out with my hand on my face with the jacket, stopping the bleeding. I heard the sirens come up. Tyler was able to call the police. And so they pulled up, still unable to open my eyes. All I heard was, we got to get him out. And my door was jammed. They had to saw the door open. They yanked me out, put me on the stretcher, put me in the ambulance, took me to the hospital. I think I passed out in the ambulance from my adrenaline coming down because I don't remember the ambulance drive at all. Woke up under the lights in the hospital in the ICU with them working on my face, stitching me back up. So yeah, I took the blood test a few weeks after that, once I'd been sent home. And so I lost a lot of blood in the accident, obviously. So my levels were way lower than what they are like on a regular, because I had taken a few weeks off of training. I just been laying low, probably not getting as much meals as I usually am. So all my levels were just mad low when I took that test. So on that test, you can see on one side the results from back then, and then today, or at least when I took that second test, my usual results.
Wow, that's crazy. Damn. I'm glad you're doing better, bro.
Thank you.
Jesus. How long were you out for after that accident?
Like in the hospital or just like away from the gym?
Like in the hospital.
I spent 4 days.
4 days?
4 days in there. That was brutal, dog. Jeez. But thankfully, I mean, I was taken care of. I had a solid support system, and I was sent home after 4 days. They told me to take, I think, 3 weeks off from the gym. That freaking 22nd day, I was right back in the gym, dude.
Nice.
I couldn't fucking wait. That was really scary, actually. Now that we're talking about it, the first thing I thought of when I realized I had been in that accident is I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue fitness. I don't know what's going to happen to my influencer career, my bodybuilding career, my acting career, modeling, like all of it. I didn't know where I stood after that accident. I didn't know how bad the damage was. I didn't know if I was ever going to have my face repaired. Mm-hmm. I thought I was going to be like permanently just screwed, you know? Mm-hmm. And so that was a big fear that I went through, but I was able to overcome that through my mindset and just really like, I don't know. That's where anime comes in. and just
Yeah.
overcoming really tough obstacles like that. And that was a huge mental obstacle, really bad. But like I said, the support system, I think, was the thing that got me through it. Yeah. And now I got some scars left over. I really like them, actually.
Oh, dude, a scar right down the eye.
Right down the eye.
It's like the most epic fucking scar.
Yeah, Loki looking like a costume.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what's funny? I was low key hoping that the scar, because there was some, I think I took some eye damage too. There was like a little blood in my eye, and I was low key hoping I was gonna have to wear a patch. I shit you not. I was hoping. So there was a point I was on Amazon looking for eye patches. And I was trying to be like a legit anime character, dude.
Nice.
And then my eye healed. I was like, fuck. But yeah, I still got scars. And the damage was mostly to the left side of my face. So in that accident, I had, I think, 6 skull fractures, facial fractures.
Shit.
I took some brain damage, internal bleeding, plenty of sutures. But luckily I had some really professional top surgeons repairing my face. So that's why, like, you can barely notice it now.
Right.
You see the little mark from like on my eyebrow or like down my lip or above my nose, but that's really all you see are just the remnants.
I bet that stuff really puts it into perspective for you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
How's the brain doing?
Just fine. Just fine. I mean, there's one thing I noticed though. Ever since the accident, I have nosebleeds from out of my left nostril here and there. There are a lot of times it'll happen usually after I train. So I think once there was like a lot of blood circulation for like when I get a pump or something like that, or I exert a lot of energy or I push my body to its limit, I notice once I come down, like when I'm at home after the gym, I'll have like my post-workout meal, I'll go to relax and then I'll just feel the blood just slowly pouring out my left nostril. And that started happening after the accident. I got to check up on that, see what it is. Hopefully it's nothing bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's still occurring. I just had a nosebleed yesterday. But aside from that, everything else, I'm good. Okay. I've never been better.
Nice.
Yeah,
good to hear, man.
It happened for a reason.
That's hardcore shit.
Yeah.
You know Kenpachi Zaraki? Have you watched Bleach?
Oh, I love Bleach.
Yeah.
I'm not, that's an anime I'm sad to say I'm not fully up on.
Ah, dude.
I'm not fully up on it, dog.
Oh, shit.
Don't be disappointed.
It's a classic, man.
I know, dude.
Kenpachi's the big ass captain with the eye patch.
Okay, the one with the super spiky hair.
Yeah, super spiky hair. Crazy.
Didn't he just go nuts in 1,000-Year Blood War? He beat the shit out of somebody, didn't he? I've seen like some footage from it.
I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've watched it. A long ass time. But he beat the shit out of a lot of fucking people, man.
Nice.
That guy was crazy.
Yeah. Man, how did I catch up on that?
The energy.
Really, because I want to watch the new series. Because there's so much hype around 1,000-Year Blood War.
Yeah.
And I cannot invest in that if I haven't caught up on the original. That's like trying to watch Shippuden Naruto and not having watched the regular Naruto.
Wait. Actually, I haven't watched the most recent series.
Just the regular Bleach.
That's the one that's 1,000-Year Blood War?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That one's super new, 2022.
I've heard it's pretty crazy and it's a lot better than how it ended.
I've seen some footage, man. And I hate getting the spoilers, but it just looks so gnarly. I had to peek.
Oh, man. Oh, dude. Honestly, fuck, man. I wish we
looks
were.
like, dude, looks like that's something on our agenda, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, let's be real. Are we ever really actually going to go watch this subbed now that we're fucking creating content and trying to edit every single day, all day?
I got no time for that, man.
Fuck, dude.
That's what sucks. I remember like back in high school, it's just all I gave a shit about was finding new music. I was huge into music growing up. I would literally stay up mad late just going through. If I liked a certain band or a certain rapper, I would just go on AZ Lyrics. I would look at all of their tracks. I would download every single one.
Whoa.
And I would listen to like the first 30 seconds of it. If I liked it, I would keep it. If I didn't, I would delete that bitch. I loved music like that because I had time. I had time to do all that. And then of course I'd be playing video games. I was skateboarding. I was watching anime. I was just doing all that because we had time. Because all we had to do was go to school. And so when I was home, that's all it was. But today as an influencer, it's just like you said, when we're not filming or in the gym working out and doing our daily, like following what our passions are and getting that handled, we're more than likely scheduling what's next or editing the content or trying to make a collaboration happen, reaching out to people. handling business emails, calls, whatever it is. It's hard to find that time to really sit down and get back into it, which is anime is such a huge part of my life, dude. And I know it is for you.
I believe that the ability to create content is such a blessing for us because we can literally do exactly what we've been passionate about, what we always wanted to do. But the one issue with that, I think that not everyone realizes is that it is a very psychologically like handicapping thing. You know, you see monks separate themselves from society in situations like this and social media and all these things because it brings them peace. You know what I mean?
Yes.
State of mind. But if you are like us, where you delve yourself into it and that's your whole entire life and your career, it does make it pretty damn hard to make that space for yourself. Like not feel like if you don't work for 2 hours, then you're not going to fall off and like, you know, essentially like lose your salary or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to
fall
separate.
off.
Right.
Yeah. That's really real. That's real, man.
The work-life balance gets difficult for sure.
And that, I think it's,
and I'm sure it's common with most, you know, like entrepreneurs or, freelancers of sorts.
Yeah. Especially, if you're working for yourself in a sense. I know that like, whenever I think of relaxation time or just time off, it's just like, dude, I could be doing this. I could be doing that. And it's also as an influencer and being in front of the camera so often, you feel like if something cool is happening in your life, even if it's the simplest cool thing, there are so many thoughts in my mind. There's like, I should get this on camera. Like this should be documented. This should be captured. When in reality, it doesn't need to be like that all the time. Still need to have that balance between what is considered work and what is considered just living your life and being in the moment. And that being in the moment is hard to capture these days. And I'm glad I can say that. I'm glad I'm with a sponsor whose products I actually really like.
Right.
Like I can knock 3 of these back easy, especially because like I told you, this is just 200 milligrams. And the cans that Rain usually like originally created are 300 each. And I think the body's what you're supposed to intake a day is like no more than 5, right? Something around there.
Of how many milligrams?
Of caffeine. I think they say you shouldn't have more than 500 a day, 500 or 600.
I mean, it really just depends on like you and your body, you and your body weight.
Yeah. All I know is just the more caffeine I have, I just get more sketched. So these are they're easier to drink.
Right.
This can's smaller. It's plant-based, 0 sugar.
Yeah.
It's just really good, and I like it. I'll bring you a pack next time, dude.
Fuck yeah. And I mean, like, to be honest, I actually limit my caffeine to about 75 to 100 milligrams per day.
Damn.
At least just because I wanted to for the last several months. But
that's good.
But this guy, Dr. Michael, he's like a chiropractor and a PT, and he does work for like a lot of the like influencers. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he'll like do work for like Bradley Martin. Lex Little sent me to him, like body work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Like he fixes up my like shoulder impingement and my hip.
Dude, you need to put me in touch with him.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch with him. He's amazing. But this guy, he drinks like 2 grams, dude. He drinks upwards of 1.5 to 2 grams of caffeine a day. It's crazy. His eyes are always fucking huge. And he's like, oh, what's up, dude?
Oh my God.
He's just wired all the time, but I don't know how he can do it. Like, we're all fucking shook because we would expect him to just be dead.
Yeah, to drop dead, man. Because I've heard stories.
Yeah,
dude, there was a TikTok I saw where this woman's husband randomly drops dead one day, literally dies, and she was completely confused because he was super fit, is what she said. Super fit, always active, in great condition. Never a problem with any kind of health issues whatsoever, and randomly drops. Wow. And then, so the doctors and whoever else looked over his body noticed that he had, I think, a lot of caffeine in his system, or just whatever that ties to. There was a lot of that traced to his bloodstream. And so they asked her if like he drank a lot of caffeine, and she told the doctors that he intaked, like he would have, Jesus, I can't remember how many cans of like Red Bull a day and Monsters, and he would just gun it like hella cans. That's what's got me scared. That's why I won't have more than 2 Rain cans a day, and these I won't I won't push it past 3. I think 600 milligrams a day is good enough for me. And that's maximum. I don't need all that. I never even really feel it. I just like the taste.
You don't feel it anymore?
I don't.
Have you ever cycled off of caffeine?
No. Yeah, that's probably what I need to do to get a gauge on it, huh? To really know if I can see where it is, where my tolerance is.
It could probably help.
Okay, so when you say cycle, you just mean like take a complete break?
Yeah, but actually, I would recommend that you taper off of it just a little bit.
Okay, so like slowly dial back.
Yeah, so say like do 300, then do 200, then do 100. Yeah, or like alternate days, like take a rest day, like on a day you're just off resting, taking a break. Then the next day go back to like 300 or something. And then like for like a couple days, then take another rest day or something on a day that you want to like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know it's hard, but
yeah,
I found that like if I try to take rest days with whatever I'm taking, especially something like caffeine, it's really, really effective for me and like just continuing its effectiveness. So I never feel like reliant on it. It's just more of like a tool that I can use when I need it. Okay.
I notice you're very strategic with a lot of things when I've trained with you.
I think it's just because it's come to the point where like I've like taken these at like full dosages like every day, and I've realized how it hasn't benefited me. So over time, I just, I like put in my phone, recorded exactly what I took, what dosages, how it affected me, and then I just made my own plan based off of
you put it into increments, huh?
Yeah. So I have like, honestly, I have notes in my phone for like everything. Like when you see me on my phone in my gym, like I don't carry a notepad with me. I don't carry a notebook. I just put in all my workout sets and like reps and everything in my phone, which is not as organized, but I can just scroll through it or search for it if I need to.
So those notes for your workouts, are those already planned workouts, or just after every set, every exercise, however many reps, you just write it down?
I plan them. I pre-plan them because I know what I want to hit.
Gotcha.
But I really just record like what I do, and I try to make sure progressive overload. It's kind of like following a program, but it's more intuitive, I'd say, just because, you understand like intuition when you're like training and dieting, like you build an idea for what your body can take, how it responds, and you kind of remember what you've done.
Right. Huh. How long have you been doing that? Like keeping track of your performance?
I don't know. I've been doing it for years. And like, if you chose any day, like say in like the last 4 years, for example, I could tell you like what I ate and what the macros for that were, just because I like plugged it on my phone. Jeez. Or like probably like my body weight as well, because I plugged the body weight on the same app. So it's just kind of nice, because I think it came from the engineering mindset of like always logging your data. I just have this like thing in me where I'm just like, I need to log the data. Yeah. I just need to log it.
Damn, man. I really applaud that organization. I love organization, dude. I wish I was more organized. I have a question for you.
What's up?
Because we're both super deeply invested into fitness in general. And it's gotten to the point where we can actually have this lifestyle of being an influencer or a sponsored athlete. And that is what pays our bills. If you weren't doing this, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd probably still be stuck in engineering.
Okay.
That was my original job.
Okay.
I was a mechanical engineer, and I did that for half a year to a year, and I fucking hated it, bro. I would just wait for the clock to turn to 5 so I could go to the gym. And whenever I had a chance, like while I was working on like fucking documents on my computer, I would just listen to podcasts about bodybuilding.
Damn.
Which told me I knew exactly what I really wanted to do.
Honestly. So, yeah. It's a sick turnaround, dude.
I even like tried to go do my master's at UCSD in biomechanical engineering, so I could somehow turn my degree more into something related to kinesiology and body and fitness and bodybuilding. And then a week before my classes started, I dropped out to do social media. So I obviously still wasn't that interested in engineering.
Did it have as far as you dropping out, did you drop out in social media? You hadn't even had a foundation yet? Did you already have a little bit to where you were like, okay, I can drop out and actually take this seriously, and I know it'll shoot up?
I had a little bit. I think I had maybe like 100,000 followers.
Okay. Oh, shit.
But I didn't make any money really from social media. It was all from online coaching that I was getting from, Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was doing online coaching at the time to try to make enough money, and it was hard, bro. I was barely getting by, dude.
Yeah.
I was barely getting by. In fact, to be honest, for a whole year, I had 10K in my bank saved from being an engineer, and it just dwindled down the entire year. I was like,
what year was that?
It was when I moved to San Diego, which was, I think, 2018, maybe?
2018.
I think it was 2018.
Nice. Man, I've had a rough, like when it comes to my social media come up, I guess I'll call it that, a come up. I was tested during 2020, which we all know was a shit year for a lot of reasons, including COVID.
What do you mean tested?
So I was working my job at the time, and I'm pretty sure I was an energy surveyor. And in this job, I would go around to different business locations, and I would measure around the building, like at the circumference, all the dimensions. And geez, I can't even remember what the hell I would do, but I would do this, find out the dimensions of the building and figure out, I'm like, I guess how much energy would be able to be outputted in this specific business. And COVID happened. I got let go of. And from that point, I was super down bad because obviously I didn't have any income. Social media was not getting there for me, not yet. I had no sponsors. I was making no money from social media at all. And so whatever I had left from working that job saved, which was barely anything because I was terrible with money, barely anything. I was riding on that and really just, I guess, keeping the faith in trying to take that seriously, because right around that time after getting let go of, that's when the government implemented those checks, the unemployment.
Yeah.
Can't remember what they called it.
So thankful for those.
Yes. Oh my, that kept me afloat. Literally.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I would have probably been homeless. Seriously. The unemployment checks from the government in 2020 is what kept me floating. And with that money, I was able to have food. I was able to pay my rent. I was able to have a gym membership. And during 2020 is when I signed up for Zoo Culture. And because before that, I was going to Gold's gyms, just different gyms. But I knew that Zoo, thanks to Brad, was like the only gym open during that time. And I knew that I wasn't going to continue working out at the park up the street because they only had pull-up bars and body weight shit. And I knew I wasn't going to keep my muscle just doing body weight. So I was like, I got to find a gym with weights that I can progressively overload and continue to make gains. And I looked online and Zoo was open. So I went there the next day after finding this out, and I took a look at the gym, which everybody was in there. My bad. Everybody was in there. And I came to the conclusion, I'm like, yo, I got to sign up. It's not too far away from the house. It's the only fucking gym. Signed up there. And after signing up there and getting noticed, I guess putting myself out there, getting among the right people, is when I got noticed and was offered the opportunity to be a Raw Gear athlete, which was my first sponsor. And so that wasn't adequate enough funds to help me like really, I guess, just lay on Instagram as my main breadwinner. But it was something. It was the beginning. It was a little bit, but I had to take it and run with it and just keep growing. And over time, I was able to land Rain. I was able to land Muscle Tech. And right now in my career, the financial assistance I'm able to get from these sponsors is way better than I could even imagine. So I'm super grateful for those. 2020, that's what I meant by tested, because I was just really laying super low with the unemployment funds from the government that whole year. And even with Raw Gear sponsoring me, still laying low up until the point where I made enough connections, got myself out there enough and got noticed enough to really become an influencer, quote unquote.
2020 was a special year for me as well. And I think it most likely was for a lot of people in a surprising way. Like it's a weird way to look about it, because, you know, that pandemic wasn't, you know, it was hard on a lot of people, but for others, you know, it was almost like a weirdly new beginning.
Yeah,
like
a blessing and a curse for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad for like everyone, obviously, who had the bad end of it, which I think everyone had the bad end of it, at least from the beginning.
Right.
But there were some people who were able to adapt and turn it around. Luckily, I was one of them. And I'm sure, was it like that for you, or did you just have to struggle through the whole thing?
It was kind of for me. 2020 was a lot of struggle, and that was also the period of time where I was wondering what was going on with me and why I was depressed. I didn't realize it's because I was taking drugs that I wasn't totally aware of for my competitions. So 2020 was a year where I basically did all this research on hormone therapy and pro hormones and all these things after months. Because I don't know why it took me months to really realize that it was my fucking natural testosterone that just wasn't coming back normally. Like I took months off just trying to figure out like why I felt like shit. And then finally I got my blood work done and my test was rock bottom. And this was after me trying to like boost my test naturally for months on end. And I even tried the carnivore diet because I'm like, it's going to be higher fats. And I've heard some people get better testosterone on it. Plus, I don't like to be so, I get really soft when I eat too many carbs. So maybe this is going to work for me. It didn't work. It didn't work for me at all. But yeah. But 2020, after going through a huge transformation, things started looking up. And then 2021 is like where like my life kind of bloomed and I got all these things that I was really blessed to receive.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. So I think an appropriate question is like 2021 came around and that's when things started to move in a positive direction, or at least in a more positive direction. And do you think this is where you need to be? Like, are you not content, but are you satisfied in which the direction of your life is taking?
I don't know if I'm satisfied. I've felt very fulfilled in the last few years I think it's from the connections that I received with other people that were following my content. But as of now, for some reason, I don't feel like I've done enough. I don't feel like I've done enough for people. I don't feel like I've done enough for the world. And I felt, to be honest, the reason that I moved here is because even though the reels and the workout swipes I do pop off, I wasn't feeling like I was really like connecting with people enough from that. Like I was just helping some and I was just maybe motivating a little bit, at least from what they told me. But I just felt like there was so much more deeper things that I could be doing. I could really be talking about like actual issues. And since I went through a depression for so long with hormones and testosterone and, learning these things has really improved my life drastically. I think that's why I just decided like, you know what, fuck it, dude. There's all these people out there, like, not to talk shit to anyone, like so much respect because they don't want to do it because they have a reason to, but like Brad, for example, and even Noel and a lot of amazing people who are, they're open about their usage, but they don't talk about it and they want to avoid talking about it at all costs. And I think that's totally respectful, but it's helped me so much that I feel like I need to share that. I just feel like I need to share that. I don't fucking care how many people will, fucking judge me out there on TikTok or the reels and say like, oh, don't be a steroid user. Oh, like, fucking stay natty boys or whatever. I'm just like, that life is already over for me. Like I can't just go back to be natural, but I know for a fact that researching all of this and joining an HRT company and all of these things has hugely benefited my life, man. I feel so much better right now. And I don't even really know if my testosterone was really that great as a teenager because I dieted so hard to like lose weight that like my testosterone really wasn't the greatest anyways, because I started off fat and then I was like anorexic for some time because I was fasting all the time because I thought that's the way they get lean. Like I was fucking with my hormones all the time because I was just trying to figure out how to like feel good and look good.
Yeah.
And then I finally figured out some healthy ways to do it, but still like over the course of 10 years, it's like, say you, for example, you started you started ectomorphic. Yep. So you eat a lot of food. Great. Amazing. It's hard to eat a lot of food, especially if you're ectomorphic. It's hard to fill that. But the fact of the matter is if you're eating a good diet, you're constantly filling yourself with more nutrients. You're constantly filling yourself with more nutrients for like 10 years straight. You're constantly improving. Whereas on someone like my side, I'm constantly in the deficit, trying to get leaner, and I'm having trouble trying to get leaner. And I'm in a deficit, and sometimes I'm pushing the deficit farther than I think I need to.
Depriving yourself.
Depriving myself. So I'm not building the muscle that I need to, or that I could be potentially. And sometimes if I'm not getting micronutrients, and if I'm not eating a full diet all the time, I'm not getting all the nutrition I need as well. It's just like it was just difficult. And then after doing all this research and everything, and doing HRT and having some testosterone support, dude, I just feel so much better. I feel so much better.
Dude, I could tell how difficult it was just through you telling the story, man. I can feel the energy coming off you. Like, I know that shit was tough going through all that. So I'm super happy you're in a better place, dude.
Thanks, man.
That's all I want for everybody.
Appreciate that.
I know what I like to promote, at least to my audience and just to anybody, is just longevity and good health. It doesn't matter if you look good on the outside. If you're looking like shit on the inside, that's not the way to do it. So I think that should take utmost priority, is your inner health. Even like there was a time when I was back in Florida when I grew up there, and one of my close people I was getting acupuncture from, and he would do acupuncture on me, and he would take my pulse, and he was super knowledgeable when it comes to like the body and the way it works and things like that. So like he would take my pulse, do different readings on me, and he would tell me like you're whatever it is. Say for instance, for example, your liver's not doing well. Like your heart like is skipping a beat or something like that. You know what I'm trying to say? He would tell me that things are off, and that would just shake me mentally, and I would just go to the worst place in my mind. Like, okay, I'm just young, dude. I'm 26. Back then, which was over 6 years ago, I was like early 20s, late teens. And so I was just going through it in my mind. I'm like, dude, I got to turn this around. What can I do to fix what this problem is? I don't ever like to hear that there's anything wrong with my insides. Because I mean, I'm so caught up with trying to look aesthetic and be this bodybuilder and look super good as a bodybuilder, because it's my business, obviously. But I mean, I would sacrifice some of this, what you guys see, to have a better inner health system with my organs and my nutrition and the way my body's supposed to be functioning, because I want to be able to perform. I don't ever want to get to my freaking late 40s and just have some heart problems and just be shutting down at such a young age.
What do you feel like is going on with your organs?
Oh, right now? Nothing, to be honest. I mean, there's some things that, like, I eat a lot of candy. I eat a lot of candy. So like I know I drink a lot of caffeine. I take in a lot of caffeine. So I'm sure there's some things that are off. I'm not completely sure as to what may be wrong with my body, but I mean, I'm sure there's like nobody's body is perfect. So I'm sure the things that are off with me, I'll end up finding out hopefully soon, and I'll be able to turn it around. But as far as right now, I cannot tell you specific things that are not satisfactory with my inner health.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, if I find something out that is wrong, I'll do my best to fix it.
Let me know too if you find anything out, because, I mean, I don't really know how much I can, but I'd love to help in any way that I can, bro.
For sure.
And honestly, that actually brings me back to, if you don't mind me asking a little bit more about this, just because I'm super curious. And,
go ahead.
I have a friend from San Diego that looks absolutely phenomenal, and everyone thinks he's not natty, but he is, and I believe he is as well. But I mean, to be honest, you never know, and I never know. So I don't ever I don't ever commit myself to believing someone is or is not.
Me too, man.
But it's more fun to just hear about what's going with each person.
Yeah.
Because everyone varies so much. Plus, everybody is super interested to know. But
I know you put a poll up for questions. We're a lot of
dude, there's a lot of fucking questions in there. Yeah, we haven't gotten any of them. In fact, since we're cutting it close, let's just jump to all of these.
Okay.
But if you don't mind me asking, your AST and your ALT are 50 and 51, which isn't too crazy high, but it is a little bit above the reference range. Do you know what the doctor said about that?
I'm unable to recall specifically what was said in regards to that. I know that all of that is on the YouTube video. So for anyone watching or anyone who has questions about it, I hope you end up watching it later too, just to get the answers. But
yeah, I'm going to watch it later. That'll be super cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I kind of wish I watched it before this, but that's so interesting, bro. And do you remember, did Larry say anything about your LH and FSH? It's within range.
To be honest, Larry was more so just tuned into the doctors, because we were on a video call with two. It was Dr. Hotchkiss and geez, he's going to hate me for not being able to pull his name back up. But they were two doctors. And so they were just both giving their input and breaking down every single thing. Cause the only thing on those results that I understand is the fucking, like the test, like sex hormones, obviously, and things of that nature. But everything else, dude, when I got those results and I saw that some things were high, I started stressing out immediately. I remember texting the doctor as soon as he sent me the results. I'm like, okay, there are a lot of things that you're going to have to tell me what's up because this is really not looking good, at least as far as what I've seen. And then he just immediately calmed me down. He's like, bro, don't worry. It's all good.
Yeah. These are really not that bad. These are really not that bad at all. Like your LH and your FSH is, where is it? Your LH is 2.5 and your FSH is 3.2, which is, I think it's a little lower than I would have expected considering your test is at 900 something, but it's still within range. So I'd be more curious to see what like more plays would have to say about that. And then, I mean, everything else seems great. I'm kind of shocked that your creatinine is within range because most bodybuilders have higher creatinine that's higher out of range. I have creatinine that's out of range. And it just means you consume a lot of protein. You have a lot of muscle mass on you.
Really?
Yeah.
You said my shit is like lower than what you would think it would be?
Just your creatinine is just a little bit like normally you see bodybuilders have creatinine that's a little out of range.
Yeah, like higher?
Yeah, higher.
Okay. Yeah, I eat a lot of protein, dude. I mean, I don't know why.
How much protein do you eat?
I'm eating around 250 grams per day.
Yeah, that's a good amount.
Yeah.
It's a good amount. But for our ratio of body weight, right now I'm actually eating 240, which is a lot. And I know I weigh significantly less than you because you're a fucking big ass boy.
Yeah, you're like 170 something.
Yeah, I'm 175 right now.
Okay.
Well, I'm 176 actually. How much do you weigh?
Right about now, probably 194.
194. Yeah. So technically my protein ratio is definitely higher.
Yeah, man. 240 for a 175?
Yeah, I used to eat lower, but my coach is really pushing me on eating a lot more protein. And the thing is like, you know, there's a lot of science out there, but there is no research done on actual bodybuilders. And the thing is, bodybuilders are a different breed. You can't compare bodybuilders to your average human that doesn't really lift weights or, you know what I mean? You just can't.
100%.
You really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not saying
like
that in a sense that we're better than other people.
Oh,
it's
no,
just
definitely not.
the difference between athletes in every sport. And with bodybuilding, it's literally all day, every minute, every fucking hour, 24 hours. You got to be on your shit.
Hey, your IGF-1, 220. That's a good ass number.
Yeah, it's within range.
Within range, yeah. My IGF-1 is always kind of low because my estrogen tends to be a little low because I've always tried to stay lean. And so I've never let my estrogen get too high, which is not a good thing for growth.
Yeah, I want to see you bigger, man. I want to see you get beefed.
Dude, I can't wait, man. This bulk has been freaking awesome, honestly.
Beefed with the shredded core. That's what you need.
Man, this is going to be hard. I'm fucking with it. Yeah, this is so fun to look at, though. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, man.
That's interesting as hell. What's your macros right now, if you don't mind me asking? Your macros and calories?
I'm eating around 120 grams of fat for carbs. I believe it's 240 on the meal plan, and 240 to 250 grams of protein.
How many carbs?
240.
240. And then your fats were?
120.
Ooh, that's a high amount of fats.
Yeah, dude, I be crushing nut butters.
That's lit, dude.
Like nut butters, avocado, olive oil.
That'll boost your testosterone for sure.
Yeah, dude, I like my fats, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
they make the diet so much easier. So much easier.
I'm sure that you probably run great on fats as well.
Yeah, I think my body responds to it well. I always have like in the morning, I usually eat my before the workout meal. What's up?
What percentage of you are like Hawaiian? What's your ethnicity?
Dude, I got the results on that. I got my 23andMe.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll
Do you
show you
remember
that
off the top of your head?
So from my memory, I'm 52% European.
Okay.
Which is my white side. And I'm 48. No, there's a high percentage of West African. That's my mother's side. And the rest of the percentage is
that has to be where the arms come from.
East Asian, Filipino.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So it's interesting, those results. Like nothing was specific in regards to Samoan or like Hawaiian or Polynesian or any Pacific Islander. Like nothing was specific to that. It was just the European, the West African, and the East Asian Filipino.
That is very interesting.
So I don't know what it breaks down to.
But your whole family is like from Hawaii, would you
Not
say?
the whole family. I have on my dad's side, there's a strong Hawaiian heritage there.
Okay.
And so, but that's the thing. I maybe have to do ancestry to get some, because I've heard that there are different results and based on the testing they each do. But yeah, I don't know. I'll show you those results next.
But I'm sure like I'm sure your genetic makeup and your ethnicity could definitely be a huge contribution for like what kind of macros will suit you the best.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, certain ethnicities will respond a lot better to higher fats, and you can see that in their diets as well. It's something that they've been used to
Yeah,
for a long period of time. Like, for example, the darker skinned, like say Filipinos, blacks, they just tend to be more sensitive to carbohydrates, something that's been seen in the bodybuilding industry. But you know, if they consume fats though, I mean, maybe that's more beneficial for them. Maybe they might feel better on it. It's just interesting stuff.
Yeah. I never thought about it like that. It's funny. Now that we're on the topic of my genetic makeup, supposedly I have an elite gene.
Yeah.
There's a specific elite gene that I have that is more known for like high performance athletes. And you can see all this. Do you mind tossing me my phone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you still going over the results?
Oh, I was just curious. Well, there was just one more thing that I was kind of curious about. Like,
Did you get to see it?
Did the doctor say anything about your LDL being high and your HDL being low?
I'm pretty damn sure they did. And I can't remember what they said in regards to that. I'm telling you,
What's your diet like?
You ask me all these questions is fucking.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good.
I'm just so curious.
I wish I had the answers to really just drop on the podcast right now. But you said, "What's my diet like?"
Yeah.
Geez, I have the whole diet.
Like what kind of like meats or fats do you eat?
I'm eating ground beef. I'm eating chicken breasts. I'm eating salmon. I like pink salmon. I get it from Pavilions. It's really good for the fats. It's got a good amount of protein in each one, each fillet. What else? I eat my egg whites with a few whole eggs. I eat steak. There was something in my blood work that the doctors told me that I need to maybe hold off from eating as much steak as I was eating. I don't remember what it was, but I definitely remember them telling me to hold off on the steak because that hurt my heart. I love steak. But yeah, as far as the proteins, that
could have been the LDL. Potentially.
Yeah, I think so. Let me pull this up real quick.
Steak is fire though, bro.
Steak is great, man.
I got this obsession with liver, and the fucking thing is like you really shouldn't have liver more than like 100 grams a week if you're a well nutritioned, if you like have enough, if you consume enough nutrition during the week, because it can be too much vitamin A. And
I see.
Yeah, there was a period of time where I was like, I was like smacking liver like every single day.
Really?
Like for like a couple of meals, and then I realized that I was consuming way too much vitamin A.
Whoa, that does sound like a lot of liver, dude.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I don't think I've ever met someone outside of a carnivore diet person like Tristan Lee or like some people I've met that eat liver like that on a regular, or at least did. That's interesting.
Dude, I am like obsessed with things that make me feel like I'm getting better. Anything that makes me feel like it's like contributing to me or makes me feel good, I get like an addiction to it. Like I get stimulated by it. Like, wow, like this starts tasting really good to me, or like this is really like, it's kind of like how most people actually dislike the taste of caffeine when they first drink it. But over time you build this conditioning. It makes you feel good, and then you start liking the taste.
Right. It was like that for me with carrot juice. Do you like carrot juice?
I don't drink it. So to be honest, I don't remember what it tastes like.
Carrot juice is really good, dude. It's sweet. Yeah. I think
I want to drink some of that shit. All right. We got his 24 and 24 and me, 23 and me. We got his 69 and me. European, 51%. You are 100% Joshua.
Yes. It doesn't say that.
Northwestern European, 38.1%. British and Irish, 28.1%. Central South Ireland, nice. Maybe you have the Irish gene. Do you turn a little bit red when you drink?
Dude, I haven't drank since the Eagles won the bowl in 2017.
Oh, shit.
I never drink anymore.
Bro, I haven't drank since 2017 either.
Hell yeah.
That's lit. Yo,
yeah,
I swear to God, that makes or breaks a bodybuilder.
Oh, Oh, absolutely.
It's unfortunate because drinking is so fucking fun, bro.
And drinking to just be tied into so many temptations and distractions, man. I'm glad that I don't drink.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not addicted to drinking anymore.
There was a time when you were like actually like deep into it, huh?
I was in a fraternity in college.
Oh, man.
So we did a lot of drinking. Yeah. But to be honest, I was always trying to avoid doing it. And then finally I was just like, I don't want any part of this anymore because it's making me feel like ass, and I feel like it's bringing me away from my career goals.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it's so great. West African, Nigerian. Damn, bro.
Yeah, dude.
42.5% sub-Saharan African.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's where those arms are coming from.
I'm telling you, bro. It's where the 3D muscle belly's coming from.
And then the 5.5% Asian and Filipino is probably where that crazy back shreds come from.
I don't know, man. I need to know more, damn it. I need to know more, especially about that.
Yeah.
That part of my heritage. Because, I mean, I'm familiar with my black and white side.
That's dope
overall.
as hell,
but, like, yeah, that little percentage there, I need more background.
I think black people have the dopest, most aesthetic separations and insertions, bro. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And if they have full muscle bellies, it's like literally like a fucking action figure. So sick.
I'd be seeing a lot of, on Instagram, on like the Explore page, I'd be seeing a lot of people over there in Africa, for instance, whatever part. And I see them training with their sticks and bricks and whatever they're using. And their physique is super. Sticks and bricks,
dude. Lit.
I just came up with that shit off the dome. But yeah, their physiques just be insanely shredded, separated, abs, like core, everything. Like super capped shoulders, wide ass back, huge rhomboids, freaking everything's there. I'm like, dude, that has to be, because I know you don't have a whole ass gym set up.
Right.
For the people out there using like their kind of like bootleg system of working out, whatever that may be, and seeing those people with superior genetics and physiques that rival some people on stage of like IFBB pros and things like that. I'm like, dude, a lot of that has to be genetics because you don't have that much to work with.
I'm sure a good portion is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just so hard to tell, man.
I know.
And I don't want people to believe that like they can't do something because of genetics. Like, it's so fucking bullshit, man. Like if you want to be able to achieve something, just fucking go for it. Just go for it, man.
Yeah.
You only have one life.
While we're on the topic, while you're talking about just because you may not have great genetics doesn't mean you can't achieve a nice physique or a superior physique. One thing that was said by the doctors in that video call for my blood test was in relation to my testosterone levels, which were, I think, 957. They were saying that it's in good range, but they've seen people whose testosterone are like hella low, like not bottomed out, but just lower than usual for a man, and their physiques still look incredible. And so they went on to say that you don't necessarily need to have the best genetics, the best testosterone levels. Like these are things that are great to have, but just because you may not have them doesn't mean you're not going to make something happen or you're not able to get where you want. And I think a lot of people so many people get thrown off and just,
especially by the number. But the number doesn't really matter.
By the number, dude, by comparing themselves to others and seeing these physiques that they try so hard to recreate, but you're never gonna look exactly like somebody else. I have even my cameraman, his name is Jake. This guy is he's into fitness and he's trying to develop, like, just look better. He's trying to look better because he used to be overweight. And he stays comparing himself to me. And I tell him, like, dude, that's not a good comparison to have. Like, find somebody.
I think that's just what people tend to do, like, naturally, you know? It doesn't mean anything, but it's like, if that's a person next to you,
I know
it's very easy to just compare yourself, you know?
Yeah. But there's got to be a line that you have to draw for yourself to understand that.
And it's hard, you know? It's hard to remind yourself every day, like, hey, I'm great. I'm doing amazing. Like, like compare myself to like my origins, like how far have I come? Yeah. But it's so easy to just see the other person.
Yeah.
Because you're not always looking at yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's just easy to see the other person and be like, wow,
right.
I wish I had this guy's fucking arms.
Yeah. I think it's easy for people to overlook the small victories. I think like the small victories, what I mean by that is like, you made it to the gym today. That's a small victory. you got your meals in for the day. You stayed away from this social event and drinking. You didn't do that today. You didn't hang out with these people who you know you're not supposed to be hanging out with. Small victories and counting those and really keeping those in mind, as opposed to just, some people will see the long distance victory and that's it. Everything else on the way there, they don't register that shit. And I think that's where everybody gets caught up and thrown off and just really sad about, when they don't notice those small things. And ultimately those small things are what's going to get you there, because you don't just jump from A to fucking Z. Mm-hmm. You have to go all the way through the alphabet, and each of those fucking letters is important. I wish more people could understand that.
Yeah, I do too. But bringing this back to your testosterone level, you're talking about with the doctors. Mm-hmm. For all the natural people out there, or the people that have come off testosterone, how do you like, what do you do for your testosterone? What do you do to like maintain such good testosterone? What do you do to like boost your testosterone and keep it high?
Well, I don't, there's not really a lot of focus for me on my specific testosterone and how to increase it. Like I don't go throughout my day looking to accomplish that mission of, how do I get my testosterone to be this high, or I gotta raise it, you know? Mm-hmm. I think, because I do take testosterone boosting supplements from my sponsor, which is MuscleTech. They have a specific supplement I use for raising my natural testosterone. Aside from that, I'm usually in the gym 6 days a week. I am very active. I maintain like a solid, I have a solid, I don't even know if this relates to keeping high testosterone. It probably doesn't. So I probably shouldn't mention it, otherwise people think I'm a clown. But I'm never really in a, how do I say this? My mindset is really solid. I don't ever like lower my confidence. I don't ever have depressed moments. So I think my levels of, I don't know, man. I don't know how I should say it. I like I said, I don't know if it ties into keeping my testosterone high, but I know there's a certain correlation to mood, natural mood, and the levels in which your body are at, if that makes any sense. I don't know can you debunk me? Can you tell me I'm wrong, or tell me I'm making some kind of sense?
This is just what I know. People can obviously call me out too, mm-hmm. but your mind is your reality. So whatever you see, whatever you feel in your mind to be true is true for you. Now, if you see your life has small victories every day, like you were talking about, mm-hmm. you continuously boost your testosterone through victories. Your testosterone is always going to be high. Say, if you see your life having the opposite, it's very likely that the opposite will happen too, mm-hmm. right? So that's what I'm speculating.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like literally just like that. Because I got my energy levels and my daily mannerisms are always usually like up here. I don't have days down here. So I think that has a lot to do with my natural output of mm-hmm. whatever is in my body, like my testosterone. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, yeah, I think that's really it. I stay very active. I get the right nutrition in, or at least for a bodybuilder, I'm eating specific things that will help me to perform better as an athlete. I'm taking my testosterone boosting supplements. And outside of doing those things, I'm sure my testosterone would not be as high as it is. So I think I can lay the fact that my testosterone's at 957 on those things. And I hope that's able to help somebody. I know it's not a lot to go on, but that's the best answer I can give for that question.
How's your sleep? What's that like?
Usually it's good. There are nights when I am tossing and turning a lot. Mm-hmm. And I don't ever really track or keep track of my good nights and bad nights, but I know it's usually 50-50 between I had a good night's sleep and I had trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. And not to mention the fact that as a bodybuilder, I'm drinking a shit ton of water. So I'm waking up plenty of times to go to the bathroom during the night, which sucks, but it's part of the mission. So, I mean,
that's a hard part for me as well. It's like trying to dwindle down the water at the last 2 hours of the day. But honestly, a lot of the time it's not enough and I still fucking wake up twice.
And you know what? I actually enjoy smacking a shit ton of water before I go to sleep. Like later in the day.
No way.
Well, Cause I know that usually in the later in the day, I'm home. I'm not out and about. I'm not, I'm not constantly moving around. So I know that I have more access to my meals or my water intake, the toilet. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
So I know that I'm in a better position to really hit it and be able to just to and from.
Get the water. Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, like, and especially because I don't like waking up dry mouth. I hate that shit. I hate it. So I usually crush like a quarter gallon before I jump in the bed, knowing that there's a price to pay for it when I wake up pissed. But
there's a balance, because if you're dehydrated at night, you're not going to get as good sleep. So it's like you need to make sure that you're hydrated enough with your water and your electrolytes, because that's actually going to benefit your sleep greatly. But then if you go over the top, you drink too much water, then you pee, and then you break your sleep up into patterns. Last night, for example, for me, like being totally transparent with everyone, I decided to I've been taking Kratom like maybe once or twice a week. Yesterday I decided to take my dose for the week because I wanted to do work late at night.
Okay.
But for some reason, I took it a little too late than normal. I took it about 7:30 and I wanted to go to sleep by midnight, and it was dehydrating me hella.
Whoa.
And I dehydrated myself so much. I couldn't like that. I just didn't get good sleep, and I woke up foggy.
Oh man.
Because I was dehydrated, and I pissed like 3 times at night. It wasn't beneficial. So, it's more of a learning experience for me. I'm not going to take it that late anymore.
Wow. Even, it's 7:30, which gives you another 4.5 hours before midnight. Even that was too late, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's about 6 hours. Yeah. So, I think the half-life's about 6 hours.
Wait, am I tripping?
What?
7:30?
7:30.
You said 6 hours?
Yeah, but you don't feel it really after 4 hours.
Okay. So
7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. So normally I stop feeling it by 11:30 and I start getting tired.
Okay.
And sleepy. And I got pretty tired by 12:30.
I see.
But the problem there was that I wasn't hydrating, and I was just peeing out. And even if I had more salt and had more water, like Kratom really dehydrates you. So you got to drink like way more than you expect. And then I didn't want to drink too much water because I didn't want to pee the entire night. It's just fucking.
That sounds like a lose-lose, man.
It was.
Oh man.
You really got to pre-plan these things, you know?
Yeah, definitely. When it's your body, man, there's so much to take into consideration.
Yeah. All right. I got a couple questions for you, because a bunch of these people want to ask these questions and stuff.
Okay.
Did you train with did you train with Simeon Panda?
I did.
What was that like?
Simeon Panda, I trained at his house where he has a Gold's Gym set up in his backyard.
Whoa, that's sick.
It's fucking amazing.
That's so cool.
Shout out to Simeon. He's a really cool person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, man. He has such a nice like backyard set up, the pool. He has a freaking a portable sauna. He's got a whole patio.
If you guys do want to help fund the podcast, which would be fucking phenomenal, it means the world to me. And even if you guys can send me a picture, it just makes me happy. But using my code Nile on either Young LA Clothes that comes out with 2 drops every week, or Huge Supplements that has all the pre-workouts, whey proteins, vegan proteins, as well as the arachidone that we love. That also, code Nile will also get you a discount and also help fund my podcast. So, all right.
These are the humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Of the podcast.
Yes, sir. I know my podcast is going to do well, but I also don't really care because I just want to keep doing it anyways.
Yeah, I can imagine that if you're more so for the overall relation to the audience and just actually speaking things that matter, at least to you, that people can relate to. I mean, that will ultimately register in the audience's mind, at least to me. And I think that will cause it to be shared and to be picked up on faster than a lot of people who do it simply for the purpose of getting that clout or making the business happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the heart's there, sometimes that is needed more so than all the funds you're throwing into this project, or just like all these outside things that you hope to make it go the distance. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd much rather have that. Like, as long as the passion's there, dude, like that goes for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't fucking expect to have or develop like a disciplined lifestyle, or I guess get to a level where your physique is impressive if you don't have heart, if you don't have passion, if you don't have drive.
Mm-hmm. Going back to our last question, because we got cut off because of my camera. Sorry, guys. That was all my bad. My bad. All right. So, you trained with Simeon Panda.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what was that like?
Yeah, man. Simeon's cool. And I was in his backyard. He has a Gold's Gym set up. And it's really, really impressive. Super dope. So much equipment. All really pimped out. He chose a specific military camouflage for like the padding and the theme of the gym. And so I was training with him for a YouTube video of his, and he was basically just having a genuine workout. It was basically, if the cameras weren't there, it would have felt supernatural. And even with the cameras there, it was supernatural. Like Simeon was we were just having a one-on-one conversation, man to man, throughout the workout, going through different life experiences, him telling me him telling me his story, me telling him my story, talking about business and how he came to be where he is with his success and where he is now, and the things that he came to acquire, like this gym in his backyard. And we trained arms, of course. I think it was arms. Yeah, it was just buys and tries. And that was a good lift, man.
Nice.
He's super down to earth. And I know, because we both have the same manager, Simeon and I. And so it's things like that, as well as the situation of us being both natural. He claims natural. I am natural, and I believe him. So there are different things that I can say made the workout and the collaboration and the connection come about. And so I was able to encounter him in Gold's Gym. He was training one day, and he was hitting some hams by himself with his hoodie on, with his little camera set up, kind of like these for the podcast, and just doing his thing. And I went up and approached him, and I never do that, by the way. That's side note. Since being in LA, I don't know what it is. I don't like to be I guess the word is a fan. I don't like to be a fan. And I was taught that when I got to LA from a friend of mine who told me, and this isn't like, I have no problem with giving people their flowers and letting someone know how important they are to you and letting them know you respect them. But it becomes a different situation when you're a fan and when you're praising somebody or expressing your obsession or like something along those lines to somebody. I never do that. So when I went up to Simeon, I told him I didn't mean to interrupt his workout. I was like, hey man, I see you're doing your thing. I just wanted to come and introduce myself. My name is Joshua. We both have the same manager. Obviously I know who you are. I love your physique, your content, everything's great. You're a beast. And then, so he just immediately off the jump, he was like, hey bro, I've seen your content.
Oh, nice.
He's like, I love what you do. We should stay in touch. And so we exchanged numbers that day. And then I think about a month later, we ended up getting this workout collaboration. And yeah, so like I still keep in touch with him here and there. He's a cool dude. We actually have a lot in common. I like to shoot. Like he shoots a lot at a gun range. And a lot of that came from my military background. Obviously, we've both competed in Musclemania. He's a certified bodybuilder. I'm a certified bodybuilder. He also likes anime, which is cool. Nice. Yeah, he's just really cool, man. That workout was fun. It was nothing like forced as far as the video. It was like hanging out with him was like we were already cool friends, like just very well acquainted. It was fun.
That's dope. That's hella cool, man. I love it when when it just works out like that, where you meet someone vaguely through social media, but dude, then you guys end up being like actually good buds, dude. Yeah, it's man. Crazy how often that actually happens and you just don't expect it. I think it's really cool because social media actually really does connect people who really have like minds. At least it has for me, at least for 100%. Me, I've met some of my closest best friends through it. So.
Yeah. Good, dude. Yeah. It's really an awesome tool.
Everyone wants to know, bro. Can you please tell us what the ARM program is?
The ARM program.
What do you do for buys and tries?
Well, I'll tell you what I did today, which is usually what I do. I usually do dumbbell curls. I love good old dumbbells and isolating each individual bicep. I like to steer away, and this is in general, I like to steer away from like straight bar or anything where both muscles are working to move one specific thing, because that's what can develop muscle imbalances. So anything I do, whether it's leg press, like unilateral, whether it's chest press, I like to use dumbbells. curls dumbbells so that I know each muscle is getting the same amount of work.
Yeah.
Because in the world of bodybuilding, you need proportion, you need symmetry.
Right.
Otherwise, they're going to knock you for that. And I'm not going to compete to get anything less than first. So I take that with a lot of seriousness. So dumbbells, usually seated to reduce momentum. And I like to use a preacher machine. So that way my back is on the pad. And I put my elbows in the back of my arm on the pad so that I can't use momentum. I did those today. I did straight bar curls on the cable machine for some good old fashioned old school movement to build some density. I also did concentration curls because I was following Arnold's routine. And I know he was a big advocate of concentration curls. I never really do those, to be honest. I don't know. That was a movement for biceps that I never really got into heavy. I don't know why. I feel like there's too much riding on the possibility of momentum with the positioning, with your arm on your inner leg.
You think so?
It's so easy for those other muscle groups to come into play, like your back, like your rear delt. I like movements that put your whatever muscle is being worked under so much isolation that it's damn near impossible to use momentum. It's damn near impossible to cheat that shit. But yeah, those 3 movements for biceps today. Triceps, my bread and butter has always been overhead dumbbell extensions. Did we do those?
Yeah, we did those. Those were fire,
You
bro.
like those?
I love those. I love anything overhead tricep.
Those are so dope. It's just so much stress on the tricep. And I think a lot of my tricep size, I can blame for that movement. So single dumbbell overhead extensions. Whew. And then I love push downs. Push downs are my shit. And I go below 90 on everything. I like to get the full stretch. I don't ever do half reps unless there's a purpose for it, like 21s or something like that. So overhead dumbbell extensions, tricep push downs. I also did dips today. And I never really focus dips for triceps. I usually do dips at the end of a chest workout to get the lower pecs.
I do too.
But today I decided to do some super slow and controlled dips. And I had to go controlled because, like I told you before, my shoulder, I'm still low-key dealing with that shoulder impingement. So I have to make sure I'm not tweaking anything the wrong way. So I think the focus, like the slow and controlled, is what ultimately puts way more stress on the muscle anyway. So
Gotcha.
it was a win-win. The pump was juicy, bro. It was juicy. It was juicy.
What are your sets and reps like?
I always do 4 sets.
4 sets?
I hardly ever go under 4 sets. I never felt like 3 sets was enough. Even in high school, when the coach would have that blueprint on the board, like the chalkboard, he would tell us that, all right, today we're doing 3 sets of this many reps. And I don't know, in the back of my mind, I was like, 3 sets, that's it? I was always thinking like that. Like 3 sets ain't shit, man.
Yeah.
I need at least 4. So these days I always do 4 sets of everything. And depending on the muscle, like arms, I'll usually do sets of 8 to 12. Usually it's 10 to 12. But today, because I was really trying to, like, especially being on this prep too, I'm trying to develop more density and more shape and sharpen the muscle. So I was going slow and controlled sets of 8 to 12 following Arnold's workout. And yeah, that proved to be a really good workout. And I felt the breakdown. You know it's good when you feel the muscle being broken down during the set, or like getting the breakdown during those reps. I think you can definitely tell the difference if you're going with enough intensity. I know probably a lot of people, and no shade to anybody, a lot of people probably don't know what that feeling is like. Especially like the newbies who haven't taken their body to those limits yet. But you'll know when you get there. Trust me. It's an agonizing feeling, but it feels good at the same time.
We love those agonizing feelings.
We love that. Yeah.
So 4 sets, like 4 sets per exercise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like how many exercises per arm? Like 2?
3.
3?
So I'll do, yeah.
So you'll do 12 sets per bis and 12 sets per tris? Ooh, nice. That's
You
a
know
good
what,
amount
man?
of
Everybody hates
good amount
on
of volume each day. I think volume is key, bro. I think people sleep on it.
It's people sleep on it and hate on it. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's because everything is tailored. All the science is tailored towards the average person. But when you've been training for so long, having so much experience in your books, or you're just genetically able to take on more volume,
Yeah.
then why limit yourself? I think it's better to push the marginal returns rather than not achieve or obtain or hit your maximum, potential gains.
Yeah. And I mean, you'll never know until you try to, like in this specific instance with whatever plan you're doing, if it's not the amount of volume I'm talking about, and for whatever reason you choose not to do that much volume because you feel like it's going to be overtraining or whatever the hell reason you don't do it. If you don't try it and at least give it enough time to, I guess, like 3 weeks to a month to assess any kind of results that you may get, then why is the reason? I don't understand the reason for all the hate and all the backlash. I've trained like this for years. Ever since I graduated high school, I was training like this. And I graduated high school in 2015. It's fucking 2023. I've been training like this for 8 years. And I look better than I've ever looked today. And I'm not saying that in an egotistical way or a douchebaggish way. I look great. Like this is the best I've ever looked. And I've been training like that. So obviously it's doing something for me at least. So I think different training styles, like everybody's body's different and you never know how you may react to a certain style. Just like with foods, not everybody tolerates the same foods the way you tolerate. Things are different for every specific person. And that's just the way we are as human beings.
That's why I think unless you're like Ronnie Coleman, the people who are the biggest aren't always the strongest, and the people who are the strongest aren't always the biggest, right? Because your powerlifting program is going to be so different from a bodybuilding program. And to cut things short, it's not the science, it's not what is correct, but it's an easy way to just phrase it so it's easy for people to understand.
Yes.
Like time under tension is really key to just building size and mass. It's like, I think when you think of like a rhino or something, I feel like that rhino can just push weight for like hours.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't necessarily have the explosive power that something else might.
Yeah. I've always
the
found
legs
that
of a
fascinating.
kangaroo or something. I don't know.
Right. Dude, like that brings me back to being a competitive powerlifter in high school because I was on the weightlifting team as well as being in the class. So initially I was introduced to lifting for the numbers and the purpose of maxing out and just being able to lift a lot. That's how I really became established in the passion that I have for fitness today. So I was all about just lifting heavy from the beginning. So in that sport, I was able to see, like you said, people who don't look like they lift a lot, but dude, they're fucking bulldozers. I've seen some lightweight people lift heavier, like and win meets and go to the Olympics and place first. Like, and it really is two different sides of the spectrum. And so you cannot logistically box somebody in just because they may look a certain way. And I think it's so easy for people to prejudge, even for me, even like you said, before you knew me, there was a specific way you thought of me. Before I've met people who I'm super cool with today, I may have had like a negative look on them. I can name plenty of people like that who I'm super cool with today. When I saw them on social media, I was like, dude, I don't think I would like this guy. I don't even like looking at him. I don't like his content. But now I'm like, yo, that's my boy. So it's just something that's really hard to combat as a human being, is prejudging people and having this predicted way of perceiving them before actually understanding who they are, how they train, their different styles, the way they live, things of that nature.
Drew Co wants to ask, interesting question. I plan to get out of the military soon. How do I maximize using the military to my advantage?
Oh,
interesting question.
Ooh, so I'm assuming he's active duty, because usually people are active. Reserves is the lesser route. So he's going to get out soon. He's wondering how to maximize the most out of his military career.
I think so. He says the way he phrased it, though, is how do I maximize using the military to my advantage?
How do I maximize using the military to my advantage? Well, I would suggest whatever MOS you're in, whatever your military occupation is, take it seriously and learn all you can with and from that MOS, so that hopefully if it's a transferable job, meaning once you're out of the military, it can translate to a civilian career. Hopefully you can take your knowledge and your skills from that MOS and use them in whatever career you translate to once you're a civilian again. Aside from that, specifically because I know a lot of people probably listening, even though he didn't ask it, they're probably wondering, because I was reserves military in the Marine Corps. And then I transitioned to what I do now, which is an influencer. I'm a sponsored athlete. And the way I was able to do that is, as a reservist, I was not full-time. For people listening and who don't know the difference between active duty. Active duty is where you're full-time. You're living on base, wherever that's in the country, out of the country, you're on base, living there in the barracks, which is whatever their lodging system is, and you're working Monday to Friday. Reserves means you get to live your civilian life wherever. So for me, my last unit was in Bell Gardens. And at the time, and still now, I'm living in LA. So I was attached to that unit where I would only report and work 1 weekend a month. Just 2 to 3 days usually out of the month is when I would work my military MOS. Outside of that, I would get to do my daily in the gym, focus on acting, focus on my social media career, music, whatever it is. So for me, I had much more time to really focus on things that I wanted to pursue and where I really saw myself succeeding, which was becoming a successful athlete, a successful bodybuilder. Having more time to do that is what really gave me the advantage, because I know active duty, obviously you have your MOS, which you work from. Usually you're waking up to go to formation, which is 6 a.m., get off work, 1600, 1700, and then you'll have whatever time, which is barely anything, to do everything else that you really want to. So I think use that time to your advantage if you're active duty, and really prioritize things. Stay away from all of the temptations and whatever active duty military personnel like to get into that has no benefit to what you want to be going for you anyway. So that's the best advice I can give. Find out what you want to do once you're out, since you're getting to that point of, you know, being done with the military. Figure out what you want to do, start setting yourself up for it, developing the skills for that, saving your money so that you may be able to invest in that once you're out. Have a solid cushion so that you don't just hit the ground and have to scrape back up to get to where you want to be.
There's definitely there's a lot more questions that I'd love to ask you, but
let's do it.
I think this is a good time to cut it short, because we've been here for a minute. But dude, thank you for being on this podcast, man. This was super fun.
Yeah, man. And, thanks for having me. Yeah, anytime.
It was dope getting to connect with you. I got 2 more questions before we go. I ask everyone this on the podcast. So if you were to die tomorrow, what would be the first thing that you would do right now?
The first thing I would do is tell my loved ones that I love them. That's the very first thing I would do, is to make sure they know, because I would hate to leave and have them not know for sure. Mm-hmm. Does that answer the question?
No, that's amazing.
Or do you want me to actually, like, with my physical body, go and do something?
No, that's
yeah, I would tell my loved ones, I would make sure they know how important they are to me. Because I know, with me almost dying in that car accident, I know how important that shit is now. Mm-hmm. And I had to learn that, because there were plenty of people who didn't know if I was going to make it. And I would hate to feel that and to make someone else feel that. Mm. So yeah, that's the first thing I would do.
And then if you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be?
God damn. It could just be one, not a cluster.
One.
Oh, dude, I would have firepower for sure.
Firepower.
Fire. You could do so much with fire, man. Especially after watching like Avatar, after watching My Hero.
Oh, fuck.
You could fly with power. Fly with fucking fire. You can translate it into a like lightning. You can like have your body be fully enveloped in it. You could even like freaking Endeavor from My Hero. You can have like fire armor. There's so many badass things you can do, dude. I've always been fascinated with fire. This is a super side note that I'll make really quick. I almost set my house on fire when I was back in Florida. I was playing with fire in the garage, and I was burning like some bristles on a comb in the garage. And I went back inside after having thought that I put it out. So go back inside. My mom asked me to get something in the garage. I opened the garage door. I turned the light on, and I didn't see any light. I was like, huh? I freaking flicked it on, flicked it off. And then I stepped in there and I looked and I smelled smoke. And then I was like, oh no, I opened the garage. All you saw was smoke just like exit the fucking garage. And thankfully it wasn't a big fire. It was just that little comb that had got smoky. But everything in that garage, including my mom's car, was soot. on the walls, on everything that I had to clean up.
Shit.
Yeah, I've always loved fire, man. Fire is life. I think like fire is, because when you can suffocate fire, dude. Fire's different, man. I don't know. I'm getting into my nerd, the nerd side of me, but yeah.
The wine side's coming out.
Yeah, dude. Fire. What about you, man? I'm curious.
I said teleport.
Really?
Yeah. Be anywhere, anytime.
Huh. Okay, but you're limited to Earth.
I guess that's chill.
Right?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I'm limited to Earth, that's fine with me, but it would be kind of cool to be able to
It would, no doubt.
teleport into the just teleport to the moon for a second and see what it's like.
That is, you can save yourself from dying in plenty of instances too.
This is true.
You know what? You could walk in front of a car and then right before you get hit, just experience that adrenaline, just pop out of there. Just be like, oh shit. Just get that little rush and just be out of there. Teleportation's cool. Like Jumper. You ever seen that movie?
Oh yeah, dude, that's a sick movie.
Yeah, dude. I think, you know what? That's cool. I wouldn't have expected you to say that.
I think I just feel like I want to be everywhere at once, and there's so many things I want to do, and I feel like I never have enough time.
Okay.
But someone else said flying, and I realized like maybe I should enjoy the ride a little bit more than just wanting to like skip to the next step. So thanks for being on this podcast again, man.
Thank you, brother.
I know that we could literally talk for 20 more hours if we wanted to.
I'm glad we have an actual connection.
Yeah. No, same.
This was easy, bro. Like nothing. This is clockwork.
Let's get that arm workout in soon.
Let's do it, man.
Thank you guys for watching again. If you want to support the podcast, please do. The best non-cost way is to support us by rating us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and then subscribing to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys again for that. And then also, if you want to stay up to date with any updates regarding my life or the podcast or, Young LA Clothing, then you can follow me on Snapchat at Nagahaga, NAYGAHAYGA, or follow my Instagram stories, but normally the Snapchat's a little bit better. And then Joshua, where can we find you again?
Joshua J. Blaze on Instagram. So that's BLAIZE. And you can find me on TikTok, JJ Blaze, just like Instagram. YouTube, Joshua Manoi. That's MANOI.
Fuck yeah. Bet. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
All right.
Peace.